One of America's most beloved former first ladies might be going through the biggest transformation of her life right now. And what if the signs have been hiding in plain sight all along? Stay with me because what I'm about to reveal about Michelle Obama will completely change how you see her recent public appearances. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why millions are asking the same question. What is really happening with Michelle Obama? Picture this scene that sent shockwaves through political circles. Barack Obama sitting alone at not one, but two of the most significant political events of 2025, while his wife of over 30 years is mysteriously nowhere to be found. First, Jimmy Carter's funeral in January, where every living president and first lady was expected to pay their respects. Then, just days later, Donald Trump's second inauguration, another historic moment that Michelle simply chose to skip. Where was Michelle Obama during these pivotal moments? The official explanations don't add up, and the internet has gone absolutely wild with theories that range from marital troubles to something far more personal. But here's where this story takes a fascinating turn that nobody saw coming. When divorce rumors were reaching fever pitch and political commentators were openly speculating about the Obama marriage, Michelle and Barack stepped out for what would become their most talked about public appearance in months. And let me tell you, Michelle wasn't just dressed to impress, she was making a statement so bold, so deliberate, that it had fashion critics, body language experts, and political observers all asking the same question. What message was she really sending? She walked out wearing a skin-tight black Zimmermann ensemble that hugged every curve, featuring a slinky ruffled top and matching skirt that left absolutely nothing to the imagination. This wasn't the conservative, carefully curated Michelle. We knew from the White House years, where every outfit was scrutinized by teams of stylists and political advisors. This was someone entirely different. Someone who seemed to be declaring to the world, "I don't care what you think anymore," and "I'm going to wear exactly what makes me feel powerful." But here's the twist that sent fashion bloggers into overdrive. She had worn this exact same provocative outfit before, months earlier at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. Was this calculated repetition? Was she sending a deliberate message about consistency in her rebellion? The transformation didn't start with this headline-grabbing date night appearance. It's been building systematically for years, and the clues have been everywhere if you knew where to look. Remember when Michelle first started embracing her natural hair texture, stepping away from the straightened styles that had become her political signature? That wasn't just a casual style choice. That was the opening move in what celebrity culture experts and political insiders are now calling her complete I don't give a F era. She was methodically shedding the perfect, polished, untouchable persona she had maintained flawlessly for 8 grueling years under the intense microscope of the political spotlight. And then came the podcast launch that changed everything we thought we knew about the Obama family dynamics. IMO launched with Michelle partnering with her brother Craig Robinson, promising to give audiences unprecedented access to her unfiltered thoughts, opinions, and perspectives on everything from pop culture to personal growth. But here's what absolutely stunned political observers and sent relationship experts into analysis mode. Barack seemed not just unsupportive, but genuinely uncomfortable with his wife's new independent venture. The lack of enthusiasm was so obvious, so palpable, that body language experts started dissecting their public interactions frame by frame. What was really happening behind the closed doors of their Chicago mansion and Martha's Vineyard estate? The podcast became Michelle's confessional booth, and what she revealed left even her most dedicated supporters speechless. In an episode that went viral within hours, Michelle opened up about something that shattered the fairy tale image of the Obama marriage that had been carefully cultivated over decades. She admitted with brutal honesty that there were 10 full years when she couldn't stand her husband. 10 years. Not 10 months, not 10 weeks, 10 entire years of marriage where she struggled with deep resentment and frustration. And the timing? It happened during what should have been their happiest period, while they were raising their young daughters Malia and Sasha and building their political careers together. But the most concerning aspect of Michelle's transformation isn't what she's saying in interviews or podcasts. It's what millions of people are observing with growing alarm. Her dramatic weight loss has fans, friends, and even casual observers genuinely worried about her physical and mental health. The change is so striking that comments on her Instagram posts have become a battleground between supporters celebrating her new look and concerned followers expressing real fear for her well-being. Some comments praise her as looking amazing and glowing, while others express worry that she's losing too much weight and might be taking things too far. The speculation reached a new level when one commenter suggested she might be using weight loss medications, writing, "Oh no, not her" on the O, a casual reference to Ozempic and similar drugs that have become controversial in Hollywood circles. Then came the fashion revolution that absolutely nobody anticipated and that sent ripples through both political and entertainment circles. At South by Southwest in March 2025, Michelle showed up looking like someone we had never encountered before in over 2 decades of public life. Gone completely were the power blazers, the carefully coordinated designer dresses, and the conservative elegance that had become her trademark. Instead, she wore a dusty orange denim ensemble with intricate lace-up details running along the seams that screamed rebellion, youth, and complete disregard for traditional expectations. This wasn't just a style evolution or experimentation. This was a complete reinvention of her public identity, and the timing couldn't have been more deliberate or more loaded with meaning. The timing of this dramatic style shift couldn't be more suspicious or more telling. While Barack was making international headlines for his surprisingly friendly and playful interactions with Donald Trump at various political events, remember that viral moment when they were caught on camera giggling like mischievous schoolboys? At Jimmy Carter's funeral, Michelle was conspicuously, deliberately, and pointedly absent from these same events. Political activists and commentators started speculating publicly and boldly about serious marital troubles brewing in America's most famous political marriage. The speculation became so intense, so widespread, that every single public appearance, every Instagram post, every podcast episode became meticulously scrutinized for hidden clues and secret messages about the true state of their relationship. Here's what makes this entire story even more compelling and raises even more questions about what's really happening behind the scenes. Michelle's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral wasn't just about simple scheduling conflicts or prior commitments, as her representatives initially claimed. She had made it a point to attend Rosalind Carter's funeral just over a year earlier in November 2023, clearly demonstrating that these solemn political and historical events were important enough to her to rearrange her schedule and show up, as a matter of respect and duty. So what fundamentally changed between November 2023 and January 2025? The official explanation that she was vacationing in Hawaii seemed convenient, almost too convenient, and many political observers and Obama supporters weren't buying the simple explanation. The inauguration absence was even more telling, more deliberate, and sent shockwaves through political establishments on both sides of the aisle. While Barack dutifully confirmed his attendance at Trump's second inauguration, demonstrating the kind of bipartisan respect and democratic tradition that has defined American peaceful transitions of power for centuries, Michelle's team simply announced with zero elaboration that she wouldn't be there. No detailed explanation, no diplomatic excuse, no carefully crafted statement about prior commitments, just a flat, almost defiant refusal to participate in what has always been considered a sacred, non-negotiable political tradition for former First families. This wasn't just about avoiding an uncomfortable encounter with Trump, although that certainly could have been part of it. This was about something much deeper, much more personal, and much more permanent in terms of how Michelle Obama views her role in American political life. What's absolutely fascinating and reveals so much about her current mindset is how Michelle is handling all the swirling speculation, gossip, and intense media scrutiny. Instead of addressing the divorce rumors directly through carefully worded statements or strategic media appearances, she's doubling down completely on her transformation journey. The bold, boundary-pushing fashion choices continue to get more daring with each public appearance. The dramatic weight loss shows no signs of slowing down or stabilizing, and her solo public appearances without Barack are becoming not just more frequent, but more deliberate and more independent. She's systematically creating a brand new public identity that seems intentionally separate from her decades-long role as Barack's supportive political wife and co-partner. The podcast has evolved into her primary platform for establishing and showcasing this completely new identity, Through IMO, she's sharing perspectives, opinions, and personal revelations that would have been absolutely unthinkable during her carefully managed White House years when every word was scrutinized by teams of political advisors and communications experts. She's being brutally honest about marriage struggles that most political couples would never acknowledge publicly, discussing personal challenges and vulnerabilities that contradict the strong, unflappable image she maintained for decades, and documenting her own journey of self-discovery in real time for millions of listeners. It's raw, it's unfiltered, it's completely authentic, and it represents a dramatic departure from the carefully managed, focus group-tested public figure we thought we knew. But here's what might be the most important, most inspiring, and most universally relatable part of this entire complex story that goes far beyond celebrity gossip or political intrigue. Michelle Obama, at this crucial stage of her life, at age 61, is making the conscious, deliberate, and courageous choice to prioritize authenticity over maintaining appearances. Whether she's navigating serious marital difficulties behind closed doors, working through deep personal struggles that we can only glimpse through her public transformation, or simply evolving naturally as an individual who spent decades putting everyone else's needs and expectations before her own, she's committed to doing it entirely on her own terms. The woman who spent 8 intensive years being scrutinized, criticized, and dissected for every single outfit choice, every facial expression, every public gesture, and every carefully chosen word is finally, unapologetically, and powerfully living for herself and no one else. The persistent divorce rumors circulating through social media and political commentary might very well be nothing more than that. Unsubstantiated rumors fueled by a public fascination with seeing powerful couples struggle with the same challenges that affect everyone else. But what's absolutely undeniable, what's impossible to ignore, and what's genuinely inspiring to witness is that Michelle Obama is clearly in the middle of a profound, transformative personal journey. She's systematically shedding the institutional constraints of political life that shaped her public persona for decades, courageously embracing her authentic self regardless of public opinion or social expectations, and actively creating a completely new chapter of her life that's entirely her own creation and entirely under her control. What we're witnessing in real time isn't just a superficial style evolution, a temporary midlife crisis, or a calculated publicity strategy. We're seeing a woman who dedicated literally decades of her life to public service, political partnership, and putting her family's needs above her own personal desires, finally making the decision to put herself first. The bold outfit choices that make headlines, the dramatic weight loss that concerns fans, the strategic absence from political events that fuel speculation. These aren't random, impulsive choices made without thought or consideration. They're deliberate, intentional steps toward becoming the exact person she wants to be, regardless of public opinion, political expectations, or traditional social constraints about how former first ladies should behave in their post-White House years. So the next time you see Michelle Obama making headlines for a provocative outfit choice, a surprising absence from a major political event, or a revealing confession on her podcast, I want you to remember this crucial perspective. You're not just looking at a former first lady going through a phase or creating controversy for attention. You're witnessing a woman who's finally, completely, and unapologetically free to be exactly who she wants to be after decades of serving others. And honestly, in a world where so many people spend their entire lives trying to meet other people's expectations, that kind of authentic self-liberation might be the most inspiring transformation of all. The question isn't whether Michelle and Barack will navigate their marriage challenges successfully. The real question is who Michelle Obama becomes when she's finally free to explore her complete potential without limitations. And that, my friends, is a story absolutely worth following until the very end.